You're good, man. 100% you're good.
What's up, guys, and welcome to ATC Point of View. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lex, and thanks for joining me. This incident happened on November 21st, 2021 at Old Bridge Airport in New Jersey. It is an uncontrolled airport, thus air traffic controllers were not involved in this incident. The student pilot was doing some pattern work around the airport solo while being supervised on the ground by his flight instructor. The weather conditions were fair, thus they did not contribute to this accident. So let's check it out.
Orbit Traffic Stock is taking off from the 2-4 in the pattern.
First solo today?
No.
First time I let him solo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm nervous. First time during this time.
You're good, man. 100% you're good.
Orbit Traffic Stock is on Balpin, runway 24 at Orbit.
With traffic experimental departing 24, have the upwind traffic in sight. Over.
Orbit Traffic Stock is turning crosswind runway 24 at Orbit. Orbit Traffic Stock is turning downwind runway 24 at Orbit.
Over traffic experimental is crosswind 24, Overbridge. Over traffic experimental is downwind 24, Overbridge. Have the traffic downwind in sight.
Orbit Traffic Stock is turning base runway 24 at Orbit.
Over traffic experimental turning base 24, Overbridge.
Orbit Traffic Stock is turning final runway 24 at Orbit.
Over traffic experimental is turning final 24, Overbridge. Going around 24.
Fire on the runway, fire on the runway. Doc, can you hear me? Doc, can you hear me? Doc. Doc. Need emergency assistance. Doc, get out, get out, get out. Run, 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 run. Please.
Are you okay, dog? Over traffic?
Yeah, good. We got on fire echo, so Doc's okay. He just got out of the plane.
Okay, roger that. Do you need exercise? Do you want me to call somebody?
Yeah, I don't know if you can get on frequency or something. I don't have a fire extinguisher on.
Do you want me to call 121.5?
1 to 1. I think I'm going to get more on emergency. I don't have a fire extinguisher and echo's torched.
I'm bringing it.
Is it, can we land or do we need to divert?
So, before the student pilot even departs, we hear the experimental aircraft behind him ask him if that was his first solo. The student pilot replied with no, but that he was very nervous. And we also hear the flight instructor also chiming in. According to the flight school, he had 34 hours in the Skyhawk at the time. So right off the bat, we get a good understanding of his state of mind at the moment. He departs off runway 24 and makes right close traffic and reported his position at every phase in the pattern, as he should because this is an uncontrolled airport. The experimental pilot departs behind him and does the same, and he also decides to stay in the pattern. So according to the statement issued by the flight instructor and the NTSB report, The student pilot did well on his first approach and was given the go ahead to do another one. And on his second approach, he seemed to have bounced the landing and looked like he initiated a go around. During the go around, he seemed to have lost control of the aircraft right about here and also allowed the nose of the aircraft to climb until eventually it reached a stall, which caused the left wing of the aircraft to dip, bringing the nose back down and crash somewhere around here. And while on final, their experimental pilot sees this, so he starts to initiate a go around himself on the right side of the runway. But once he passes the aircraft, he lands on the second half of the runway and exit at the end to go get help. Fortunately, the student pilot was able to make it out with minor injuries. And looking at these images, the aircraft was completely destroyed by the engine fire that ensued after the crash. It's a miracle that the student pilot was able to make it out at all. So, there's something that I've always been curious about. So, if you're a pilot, let me know if you feel more comfortable at uncontrolled airports as opposed to controlled airports. So, as we know, they're completely different. At uncontrolled airports, you're relying on other pilots to communicate their position and intentions. That way, you can come up with your own plan in the sequence. However, at controlled airports, you're relying on an air traffic controller to create that sequence and make the plan for you. And I know that not all pilots like talking to ATC. So I'm real curious. Let me know in the comments. And to be honest, uncontrolled airports to me always look like the wild, wild west. Because as an air traffic controller, you have rules and separation requirements which you must maintain, and you organize aircraft. And uncontrolled airports look unorganized and chaotic, and it seems like everybody just go in where they fit in, to be honest with you. And I've monitored the common traffic advisory frequency at those airports before when I see an aircraft in the pattern that is conflicting with traffic that I have going on. That way I can get information about their type, their altitude, and find out what they're doing. That way I can pass that information along to the traffic that I'm talking to. But it seems like when there's only one of them in the pattern, they don't really broadcast that information. And they typically just wait for another aircraft to check in for them to broadcast their position and all the other information that they have to broadcast. But what happens though, if the other aircraft does the same, he monitors the frequency and doesn't hear anybody. And he doesn't choose to broadcast his position or check in as well. So, it's a really dangerous situation. I really want to know what you guys think about that. Appreciate you for watching this video all the way to the end. As always, peace.